Hi, how are you? Really good to see you again today. Thanks for joining in. And trauma triggers. Trauma comes up, and it's taken me a while to really decipher that's what I'm experiencing. I always want to say it's just the moment, or it's my imagination, or can I be off? But something will trigger a trauma from my past quite a bit, and my emotional response, my feeling response, can be really much more intensified than the circumstance warrants. So as has gone on, the one thing that I do is I generally pause before I respond. So I'm coming from a place of action rather than reacting to what I heard, which may not have a lot to do with the present moment, but could be triggering something from the past, a past scenario, a past circumstance. And what usually happens is I start to sweat. I get cold. Um, I start to shrivel, and I shut down almost like when I was a kid and I would be beaten and I would just try to, you know, protect myself at all costs. Well, that happens to me now as an adult. Physically, I go back to that place cowering in the corner, but I'm standing at, my kitchen sink. And so again, I have to detonate the circumstance, and I take a breath and I go into my body, because my body, it's just like, Vanderkirk, I think his name is, Bessel Vanderkirk, the guy that wrote The Body Knows the Score. My body definitely knows. And I go into my body and I feel where the tightness is, where the shortness of breath is, where that little one that's cowering in the corner is. And I go right to her and I breathe. And then I can start to unwind what's actually triggered, and then I know how to work with the trauma. And sometimes I can do it by myself, but sometimes I need the help of a friend, someone who's gone through similar experience or has had similar experience growing up. Or I go to a professional and I dissect it. And then once I can clear it all out, I really treat myself gently. And that's new too. I was perpetuating the abuse. So I would have this trigger of this trauma. I would feel it, but I would shove it down. And I would busy myself with something, or, like compulsively exercise when really I was so traumatized. So I've really learned how to respect my vulnerability and respect the emotional responses that I have. And I breathe into him and I nurture that little one who is now an adult. But I nurture myself. And if I have to take a break, I do. Sometimes I wrap myself in a pink blanket, and whether that's figuratively or it's literally. And then I'll call a friend if I need to, sort of detonate the intensity of the emotion. Sometimes I work one on one with my own mentors, and I make sure that I take care of myself, because I don't want to re traumatize myself by my own hand, if it's possible. And with all the intensity of energies and the frequencies from, the sun flares and the eclipses, um, these emotions are coming up yet again to be examined in a deeper way. And it's all part of the process, and it's all part of, for me, soul evolvement. And I know I'm safe, and it's all for the better. of not just me, but all of us, because we are in this together. So I hope this helps you. And there's plenty on my website if you need some tools, susangold.us. If this video has helped you, please like, share, subscribe, especially if you can get it to somebody who's really in pain and struggling. Because what happened is I found healing, I found tools. Now I'm spreading those tools. And then the next person will find healing and tools, and they'll spread the information, the tools, and collectively we'll help each other. So I wish you joy, I wish you softness, and I wish you subtle healing and to be your own kind nurturer for self today. Take good care.